Hey, what is going on, guys? Today I am sharing with you 5 underrated Kunos cars for Assetto Corsa. Now, mods are the lifeblood of AC, but I think a lot of that default Kunos content goes heavily under the radar. And I know there are still cars that a lot of people drive semi-regularly from Kunos, but I can guarantee you at least like 2 or 3 of the cars on this list you didn't even know Assetto Corsa had, because not many people ever look at Kunos cars in this game. And plus, seeing as Kunos cars are some of the highest quality cars for Assetto Corsa, there's a lot of mods that are good, but they still can't top the quality of what Kunos can do. These are all guaranteed to drive super well, super realistically, and overall be something that you have probably never driven before. So without further ado, let's get right into the first car on the list. And that is the Maserati Gran Turismo MC GT4. This is a Maserati Gran Turismo built for the GT4 class. The version we're focusing on today is from 2016. 430 brake horsepower, 535 newton meters of torque, always 1,410 kilograms. I'm assuming all of this is before BOP, but yeah, you probably didn't even know that there were GT4 cars in this game made by Kunos. I know I didn't even know this thing existed. I was literally just scrolling all the Kunos cars in the game, and I saw this, and I knew I had to include it on the list. This thing is super fun to drive. If you like driving tin top cars, this one will be a no-brainer for you to try out. And if you do have like a GT4 grid, then feel free to add this one to the list if you haven't already. You can get this car from the Red Pack DLC, and I will say what DLC all the cars come from if they do, just in case you haven't picked up the DLC yet. Next up on the list, we have the Tatus FA01. This thing is built to FIA Formula 3 regulations from 2010. 189 brake horsepower, 230 newton meters of torque. It all weighs, though, just 455 kilograms. And yeah, I think this is probably the most known, like, Kunos open wheel car, minus like the Ferrari F1 cars and things like that. But if you want lower tier formulas, maybe you have that F3 model already, the Dallara one, but this is definitely no slouch to try out. It's super fun to drive. The AI race really well with it. Of course, I would hope. It's made by Kunos, and it is just a really high quality car. I know I'm a sucker for lower tier open wheel cars. I love racing them. I feel like they're the fairest type of racing that you can do, and this thing is just perfect in every way, in my opinion. I will also mention that I'm using some skins off of Race Department. I don't have the link for them, but I'm sure if you just look up Tatus FA01 skins, Assetto Corsa into Google, you'll find it. And this just comes with the default game, no DLCs required, so everyone can hop in and try this one out. Next up, we have the Toyota Celica ST185 four-wheel drive turbo. This thing was made for the WRC Championship in 1989, and it raced all the way up to 1994. It was made for the Group A regulations. 295 brake horsepower, 459 newton meters of torque. It all weighs just 1,045 kilograms. I remember when I was like just messing around with cars one day, I didn't read the descriptions of any of these, so I didn't realize this was actually a rally car, and this thing was super fun on the road. So this thing can do anything. You don't need to pull out any like dirt tracks in Assetto for this. It will work even on closed circuits, and it'll still be a lot of fun. This thing is super fun to race, and yeah, especially if you're doing some hill climbs as well, lots to enjoy with that big turbo torque. You can find this one in the Ready to Race pack, which is probably the most bang for your buck pack you can get, because you get a ton of LMP1 and GT cars, and this is also a very nice added bonus. Next up, we have the Scooteria Glickenhaus SCG003C. Minus sounding like a serial number, this thing is made specifically for the 24 hours of the Nürburgring. It's designed for the CP-X class, and it raced in 2015. 530 brake horsepower, 700 newton meters of torque. It all weighs 1,350 kilograms. I think the closest thing I can describe this thing to is a GT3 car, but it feels like it has a little bit more downforce. This car is a lot of fun to drive. It is an absolute rocket ship in a straight line as well for that big, long back straight at the Nordschleife. This thing is super cool, and I highly recommend you check it out. You can get it in the Dream Pack 2 DLC. And finally on this list, we have the Lotus Evora GX. 440 brake horsepower, 460 newton meters of torque. It all weighs 1,395 kilograms. This thing is made to GT4 specifications, another GT4 car in Assetto Corsa. This is also the GX version, so it is a little bit less powerful, but it has a bit more torque, so it feels a lot more peppy out of the corners. This thing also, interestingly enough, doesn't have TC or ABS, so it's a very raw GT driving experience, and man, I just gotta say, if you took away traction control from GT3 cars, the racing would be so much more entertaining. It would at least be a lot more entertaining to drive. Definitely keep ABS, though. That is a necessity for GTs. And the best part of this car is it comes included with Assetto Corsa, no DLCs required, so just like the Tatus, you can hop right into this one. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys in this video. If you did enjoy, a like and a sub would mean a lot. Welcome fully to the month of March. I have a lot of big stuff planned. Got a lot of hardware reviews. I just did my PXN V9 video, and I have the CSL load pedals plus tuning kit review coming up as well. So much super cool stuff is in the pipeline. And then on the 26th, I believe, I'll be doing the Sebring 12 hours in iRacing. So a ton to look forward to. Get subscribed if you haven't already. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good one, guys.